We're about to lose one. Get the intruder.
Copy. We're almost there.
Security breach.
Attacking the area.
Security breach.
Shit, I've got movement. Where? Everywhere. Contact!
Hey, what's happening, everybody? Welcome back. Hertz here with some more Splinter Cell Blacklist Spies versus Mercs content here for the channel. This time it's the Particle Accelerator. You can see it right there, SvM Blacklist game mode, and I am rolling that Ghillie suit spy that I promised at the end of last episode. We'll get a full rundown on this suit. The difference is because it was a redesign from kind of what I was using in previous videos, or just what I had been using a few months ago. You know, I made a few adjustments, and they were good ones. They were good ones. Now, right here, I post up. There's only 2 traffic lanes. This is leading towards the C objective, the C sector. There's only 2 hallways, corridors that will lead into the C sector for the Mercs, and this is one of them. And I love this location. It's just a primo piece of real estate when you're trying to guard one of these traffic lanes, and I love it. And I'm calling out, you know, C, 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 C. Of course, I had hit the wrong hotkey to a talk. I was talking to all, so I just let it be because I did see geometric series moving into that sector. But of course, looking off in the distance here, you can see Epulito. He's creeping towards the B objective. He is initializing, and I quickly, you know, adjust my strategy here to come in and offer some support. So I post up here as he goes scurrying over to the far side of the room. I'm posting up on the kind of the entry of the room, looking to get a death from above as somebody, you know, some unsuspecting merc passes on by underneath. Like I said, I did promise at the end of last video that you would see some good teamwork between myself and Epu. There's a little bit here. It really just silently, you know, we just silently ran well together. Now I didn't start off great here. That was a mistake, hopping back over the railing. I didn't intend to do that. I was just on the sprint button, and it did like that auto climb. And of course, I get saved by geometric. I'm pretty sure I was saved there, despite being cloaked, initiating my cloak, my invisibility. I was spotted for the most part in there, and I don't think I was going to be able to finish off the Merc without the help that I got. Now right here, Epu, he's in a good location. You know, this is where you want to hide on this side of the room. He seems pleased that there's some support over here now. He's guarding the left side of the wall, obviously. I'm guarding the right side. You know, if anybody comes wandering in here or starts to move in this general direction, I'm going to click on the Ghillie suit, and that was a beautiful little drop on the EMP grenade with that drone circling up above, and one more just to take out the mine. Now I can just easily click on the Ghillie suit and prepare for a death from above if anybody starts to wander in this area. Epulito, however, because the opposing team has completely, all their members are now down on this ground level. He's shifted up top very wisely. You know, he's obviously looking through the walls, keeping an eye on things. I get my death from above, and I start trying to thin the herd, but it's just too much. I'm carrying that PP-2000, and if you all remember, if you watched the last SvM episode I released, near the end of it, I did say that this gun feels more comfortable when you're kind of it's used more effectively and efficiently when you're anchored up against a little bit of cover, like up against a wall or on a corner. It seems to fire a little bit more, you know, a little bit more true, you know, and can do a little bit more damage. Of course, you know, when I'm just out in the open, I have a tendency to be strafing, and that is, of course, I think that's probably killing the accuracy of the weapon a little bit with each step that I take, you know. So I got out of there by kind of the skin of my teeth, you know. I caused a little bit of a disturbance, got out of there and initiated this hack on C, and now with my cloak initiated, I catch him kind of napping there as he rounds the corner, and one more right at the doorway to the sector. Now, this is a pretty interesting location. I have seen another spy. I've only seen one other spy really use this location. It gave me the idea to try and get in here, and it's just by chance I ended up here as I was going in for the kill. What happens here is this is right at the doorway, and what will happen is when the Mercs enter the room, they have a tendency to neglect this area. Mentally, I think they say to themselves, okay, well, I've been through that main door. He must be hiding somewhere in the shadows, somewhere deep in this room. I'm not going to go and double check that one more time. And of course, with my cloaking device, with my Ghillie suit, I can easily crank that on, and they may just not even notice me. Unfortunately, there was this merc coming in. Luckily, I got him, but of course, Epu coming in, trying to throw up a little bit of, a little bit of cover, a little bit of a defensive perimeter around me. Didn't want to give my position away, but he did wander into the area as that merc was coming for the door. He gets put down by by Verita there, and then myself. I get put down by him as well. So a good, he really put up the stopper there, the block. He stuffed us on that hack that could have gone the distance, could have gone the distance if I could have just settled back down by that terminal in that corner, I could have been good to go the rest of the way with that hack. But, well, we may get another chance on the C terminal yet. Anyway, I've dropped down here, looking to do some damage. I can't quite catch up. Now, Verita, he's going to get away, because I did hear some footsteps coming in behind me. Of course, it was just a friendly spy coming in, and unfortunately, I have to let Verita go at this point, So I post up right here. Now, this is another great location, so long as you don't get noticed. A lot of pro, guys that have spent a bit of time with this game will check this location for spies dangling around. You can see both doors right there, upper level and lower level. Those are the only two ways in for mercs on this A sector. So this is another prime location to post up on, and this was beautiful. Despite getting detected by the drone, and you saw the drone coming back to try and take me out before I got my my paws on that sucker who was crouched, that UAV suit wearing merc. I managed to put him down. So that was beautiful. Just kind of running past the drone while I was cloaked. He did get to detect on me, but it was a little bit too late, and I got to slit his throat. Now, right in here, I don't know, things just, it's like somebody said to me, oh, run, Forrest, run, and I started running, and it's almost like I never stopped, and it worked out nicely. Again, Eppolito, he's down in a really smart location for the hacker to be. He's down there in the shadows, but of course, I'm causing a lot of disturbance up here. I'm dropping the EMP grenades. I'm running all around the room. Like, this is just getting started here, and guys are spotting me, and usually when a merc spots a spy, he's going to try and put him down, especially if I'm running for cover like that, rather than going for the kill. It could be, that I'm the hacker, so I'm at least running a distraction in there. Not doing much. I'm not killing anybody, but I'm certainly out there, running a distraction, creating a little bit of chaos, bringing a little bit of disorder to the sector, and making them think twice about checking those corners for the true hacker, which was right there, Eppolito. You see him bringing in another successful hack, so it worked out well for him, and while I scurried about the room like a madman. Anyway, let's do a full rundown on this kit while I get the opportunity. Now, I did also mention at the end of last episode, the last SvM content, that there would be a hacker. There's a cheater. You can see him. That MV Magluian, or whatever the hell that name was, that was up there in the upper right corner. This is him right there that was just pelting my boy there, DCN13. He put him down, and he posts up deep into the C sector. Right there, you see why I love that piece of real estate there, why I love that location. Pulling in not just the death from above, but getting the second man down on the ground as well before he knew what was going on. But anyway, that guy, that MV Magluian, that's the cheater. That's the cheater, and you will see it plain and clear when he gets onto the spy side of things. He just entered the game, okay? So we didn't really have to deal with him all this time, but you'll see what happens when he's on the spy side. Anyway, let me do this rundown and really describe to you guys why I chose the changes I made to this loadout. So that it is the Ghillie suit. I got the 5.7 as my pistola, the PP2000 as my secondary. Now, the sonar goggles, I always had them, of course, but I used to have the ghost helmet, which was keeping me off of detection devices, like the Intel device or the drone. It would keep me off of those devices. I wouldn't get, silhouetted on the enemy's HUD. So I've since swapped that. I thought it was best to try and stay undetected, but I've since swapped that out for the RFD disruptor headset, the infiltration headset, so that I can use my goggles without fear of being detected by the RFD vision, right? So I've also swapped out I used to have the spider gloves, which were offering me greater mobility when climbing objects or walls, scaling walls and all that jazz, leaping over things. Made it a little bit easier, a little bit faster, made me a little bit more, agile, I guess you could say. I've swapped them out for takedown gloves. So rather than trying to just stay hidden, I'm looking to go on the assault, which I'm doing pretty well this round for the most part. I still have the ID blocker, the ID disruption plants, and again, I get another death from above from this location. I'm really putting it to use. And the last thing I have are the silenced boots, and I always had them on this outfit. Now, I crank on the cloak, run into this room. There's our cheater over there. I just skirted him. I do get over here, and I put down the shotgun guy, and this was a bit of a bot. hatch. I tried to get up the stairs, buggered it up, almost cost me my life. But of course, Epu's up here as well, and while the cheater was gunning for me, Epu gets in there and gets the kill, you know? So we've now emptied out this room of a merc presence, and just as we're coming down to the final minute of action, I managed to initiate this hack and post up here on the second floor. Now, the other, what else do I have here? The EMP grenades are just a great tool for this, the Ghillie suit spy in particular. I used to have the smoke, and what the smoke was doing was it would actually, I think when I dropped a smoke grenade, it would actually disrupt my sonar vision, you know? So I don't think it was wise. I don't think it's wise to carry the smoke grenades with your sonar vision. So I've since swapped that out for the EMP grenades, and you can see I'm really putting them to use. And it almost feels, you know, after receiving some damage myself personally in prior rounds, previous rounds when I've been EMP'd and actually doing it to another merc, it almost feels like when you EMP a merc and then try and pelt him with some rounds, with some ammo, it almost feels like you do a little bit more damage per round. I could be wrong, don't quote me on it, but that's what it feels like. You know, it just feels like those kills come in just a little bit faster. So it may be wise to get those EMP grenades down before you start pelting a guy, trying to fill him full of lead. You know. And I think I played this really well. I was doing damage, playing aggressively from that position, anchored up and spraying lead their way when I had a friendly presence in the room. But of course, when that presence was taken out, I sat back a little bit, didn't give my position away. Of course, now I've done that. I'm waiting for my backup to return to the room. I was hoping to hop off of there and get that one guy that was that just ran on by, but I managed to get the guy that had launched a grenade or tossed a grenade my way, the Shepherd, who's a pretty solid player in his own right. I played a few rounds with him, and he was doing a pretty good job of things. But there it is, all 300%, all 3 hacks coming in, and I was loving it, you know. I got a pretty solid numbers on the spy side of thing with 1 hack, 13 kills and 3 deaths, and I was so pleased. And at this point, I didn't realize that this cheater was in the room, and then when I realized what was going down, I was thinking to myself, my God, this video is going to go to waste now. We got this bloody cheater in here, but no, we're going to put it up here. Hopefully, you know, I think the video could have stood alone just with the spy work we did. It was that damn good. But we'll take a look and see how we handle this cheater, and you'll see what it's all about. You're going to see it really soon here. This is I don't think you've really seen this kit showcased too often up here on the channel. Again, the older stuff that I did, it's a bit fuzzy. I'm not sure exactly what I got up there, but I don't think you saw this kit in particular. You may have seen the UAV suit, which I'm wearing, which provides me the drone, you know, which you've seen other guys do. And I'm sure I've used that in a video, but I don't think you've actually seen me with the honeybadger. And there it is. There's our cheater, MV McGlillian. You saw him skating across the room. I thought it was just something was a little glitchy there, you know, but he is running at a super goddamn speed through this map. And I don't know, maybe he's got an aimbot rolling as well. I don't really know. I can't confirm it one way or the other. I know something is not right. Something is fishy at the particle accelerator here. And that guy's just doing, you know, super mutant goddamn, you know, he's got super speed. He's just skating around the room like a madman, you know, like a man possessed. Anyway, there's my drone. I put it into play. You saw the hacker pinned down by my teammates, and I just managed to sneak the drone in behind him and finish him off. So let's really take a look at this loadout before we focus on the cheater who's in here. This is well, it's the UAV suit, as I said. Now, it's the honeybadger as well. The honeybadger, not great range and not great power. You have to either really choose which one you want by selecting your ammo for this weapon. Do you want to give a little boost to range, or do you want to give a little boost to power? I recommend throwing the the armor-piercing rounds in there for extra power, because the power suffers a little bit more with this weapon than the range does. You can make up for range. Well, you just wield the gun as a bit more of a runner-gunner. You know, you don't try and post up in locations so much. You try and get up there in the spies' faces. You know, keep your range cut down to about the medium range. You know, now this gun, it comes built with it comes integrated. It comes standard with that silencer on there, you know. So I've got the hollow scope on there, and in the armor-piercing rounds, and a couple of attachments, you know, to increase both accuracy and control that much further, which the gun already excels at. So, you know, here I go with the drone. I'm stumbling, trying to get it up here into this ventilation shaft, and I'm right up here in the spy spawn with it now, you know, looking for somebody to put down. And while I do that, I should mention, you know, there's one thing I know I haven't gotten up here on the channel yet, and that is the vision mode I'm currently using with this Merc. It's the ATS, the third and final vision available for the Mercs. It's the ATS vision. There we go, getting Shepard, caught him hiding down there in that B room there. The ATS vision, which stands for acoustic targeting system. I'm not a big fan of this vision mode. It's probably the least used by most of the players of the game. What it does, acoustic targeting system, well, it kind of speaks for itself. It will pick up enemy fire, spy fire at long ranges and put a targeting, you know, tracker, targeting marker around them, you know, so you can spot them that way at those are at longer ranges. The other thing it's supposed to do well is you see, there's our cheater coming in and getting me, slicing and dicing. The other thing it will do is it will put up tracking markers around guys that are moving hastily at close range, but I rarely see that happen. So, you know what, if you're going to use this vision mode, I highly recommend using it with the UAV suit. And the reason you should do it with the UAV suit is because you will pick up, I mean, when it says it will pick up enemy weapons fire at long range, it means it. I've picked up weapons fire in separate rooms, you know, across the map with this vision mode. So having your drone at your disposal, coupled with that acoustic targeting system, may be of use. You know, you get those tracking markers posted up on some guy in a different room. You can just go to your drone as long as it's available and send it over there to inspect and hopefully blow his ass out of there, right? The other stuff I have enhanced detection on my headset, so that is increasing kind of the range and effectiveness of the ATS vision. Armored gloves are in there, and of course just really my standard speed on my lower half here, the faster pants and the sprint boots. You know, my running shoes, as I like to call them. And lastly, the VX nades are in there, and the nades are great for kind of just ensuring that a new hack isn't going to get started on a terminal that you were just that was just being hacked. You know, that's how I'll use them most often. Is if we've stopped a hack at, like, let's say it's at 75%, we've stopped the hack, then I just toss the VX nade gas or the VX gas on the terminal, and it pretty well ensures that nobody's going to get in there and start a new one up. You know, but anyway, so with all that said, with the kit run down, let's get right into the action here. You can see if you've been watching, paying attention to stuff I've been typing, I've been asking guys if they've noticed, you know, have you seen this guy sliding around? A Geometric Series says yes. I've got confirmation that it's not just on my end. This guy is actually doing something funny. You know, look at him, it's just sliding all over the place. Here he is one more time. He must, I mean, his speed is just through the roof. And so he's really sacrificing control for that extra speed, you know, on the spy side of things. And often you'll see him just shoot right past me, you know, shoot right past him, miss the mark completely. And when you see him coming in at those speeds, well, I just go for the melee, you know. That's the best way to stop him. The worst is when he will get you in the back quite often, you know, and he'll sting hard when he does, you know. And there we go. At least I'm dying there to a legit player. But anyway, so guys, if you play this game on Uplay on PC, and you see this MV Magluyan guy, you got to watch out for him. He's a cheater, you know. So just steer clear of those games. You know what I'm saying? And maybe let Ubisoft know what's going on. So there we go. So it was unfortunate that it showed up here in this game. I thought I was going to lose the opportunity to put this up on the channel, but we still held our own for the most part, despite going up against this cheetah, this hacker, whatever you want to call him. And and well, that's what happens when you got Hertz and Eppolito on the same team. You know, even with the cheats, even with the hacks going over there, we can still lock shit down, you know. And there he is. See what I mean? That's what I mean by stinging hard. And again, you noticed it right there as he went in for the second man. He missed the mark completely, and that's obviously the downfall of running whatever he's running. You know, this speed boost that he has. He's completely sacrificed his control. So sometimes, you know, it may work to his advantage. It kind of spoiled the game a little bit just because I was so focused on it. You know, it was I was just getting me a little closet, you know, a little hot under the collar. I don't know if that's the right saying. I don't know if that's intended to mean that I was aroused or enraged. Either way, you know, I think well, it paints a good enough picture, right? So right here I type in I'm recording, and you know, I wasn't bullshitting. I am recording, and be assured Ubi's getting a copy. So, well, that's yet to be seen if I actually get around to actually, you know, putting together a small couple of clips and sending it to somebody. I mean, I don't think it's going to make any difference. I don't think it's going to do anything, but we'll see. We'll see if I get around to doing it or not. I still don't like it. I hate bullshit players. You know, I hate guys that are going to cheat, that are going to play cheap. You know, and in this game, another thing that's pretty cheap, and you know there's guys that they're doing it. Guys that will crank their brightness, their contrast, set up their sets so that shadows, even in the blacklist mode, become completely non-existent. And there we go. You see, there's the targeting system, the ATS, you know, the acoustic targeting system coming into play, picking up a little bit of fire at those. Well, that was only at about mid-range, you know, at the most. But you see how it works, you know, so it can really pinpoint guys pretty well. But I find that often guys are wielding silenced weapons, and usually if a guy gets close enough to make enough noise, you know, within range of that ATS targeting, that acoustic targeting system, if they're moving in closely to make enough noise to actually trigger the tracking markers, usually it's a little bit too late, and you're probably getting a knife in the back just as it's happening, you know. So there we go. There he goes. There's SvM Blacklist, whatever the hell the name is. There he is, sliding across, and look at this. He slides twice. Like, I don't know, maybe it's a lag. That almost looks like it's a lag switch that's being triggered or something. I don't really know what's going on, but whatever it is, it's not right. It has no place in the game, and I despise stuff like that. I hate guys that can't play the game with a sense of fairness and play the game straight up. And even if you're just, you know, being cheap and glitching, I mean, glitching's fine if you're just in a game with your friends and in a private match or something and just having a good time. But when you get out there in the public with guys that are looking to play the game with some level of, you know, seriousness and competitiveness, when you're being cheap and glitching or fiddling with your brightness settings, your contrast settings, so that camo suits become ineffective, you know, and are highly visible, even when the guy is meant to be invisible, well, that to me is cheap gameplay, you know, and I'm not a big fan of that stuff. Anyway, I kind of missed the mark. Did I drop that? I think I did drop that VX gas. Kind of missed the mark. Didn't get it centered right on the terminal. And of course, SvM Blacklist there, getting me one more time. This time putting me down with some quick flare. That's why I'm wondering. Perhaps he's running the aimbot. Not really sure. But needless to say, I think it's pretty obvious the man is a cheat. And we'll leave it at that. As things are just winding down at this point now. 20 seconds left. They stood no chance, you know. But I was really disappointed because I thought I could have had just a spectacular round. Usually it's the spy side of things that's a little questionable for me, a little inconsistent. But and often I'll dominate on the merc side of things. But when this cheater rolled into the room at about the midway point, you know, that just wasn't the case. After having such a great round as the spy, and you know, kind of getting, well, having a questionable, an inconsistent performance, a less than spectacular performance as the merc. But despite what we were going up against, I thought I still held my own pretty well, and actually killed him quite a few times, you know. So there we go. Things all but over right here. I get that VX gas just to bring up on the terminal, just to bring this round to an end, and the drone is out just for a little bit of backup here. And unfortunately, I didn't even get the kill. Just a major assist. Just another foot closer, and I probably would have had him done in, but there we go. And another VX to go just at the end. So there we go, 300%, you know, to 53%. A really solid, a really spectacular Spies performance by myself, Epulito, and even a Geometric Series who was in here before he left. You know, I think he was probably a little fed up with the hacking or the cheating that was going on that other side. It's only the one guy. It was only SvM or SvM Blacklist, and even that, I mean, look at that, 24 and 12, pretty piss poor performance considering there were cheats going on, you know. So anyway, for myself, a 1 hack of 4 defense, 26 and 9 overall, pretty solid, you know, pretty good considering the circumstances that we were faced with during that the second half of the game. Epu there, Epulito 16, 2 hacks, you know, great hacks too. 2 defense, 28 and 13, really solid performance there for him. Well, just remember, there you go. If you, like I said, if you play on the PC, on Uplay, and you see that name, that Miss SvM Blacklist, well, don't even bother, you know, just hightail it out of there. You don't want to play against that person. So guys, thanks for stopping by, tuning in, and checking out this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully I'm not disappointing, and hopefully maybe you'll leave me a like or a comment, and at least leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about this hacker, this cheater, what's going on there, you know. Sub the channel if you're new around here and you haven't already, and until next time, all well, remember why it hurts. Later.